the first book of Kings, I will directly use the Bible to find the exact things that happens there, but I already can tell you that the part of Solomon's kingdom is really the book of exaggerated numbers. Like Solomon has 100 wives and well, around 500,000 horses, and although the Jews used only asses for most of the time, and well, all the datas are exaggerated here. Uh, and there is that disturbing episode when Solomon builds his temple, and he works for it 150,000 slaves. Well, how is this different from the Jews being enslaved in Egypt? It seems very similar episode to me. But first, it's about Solomon. Yeah, David dies, then Solomon's wisdom. Well, the most famous example of this wisdom is that the two whore and their babies. The one died, and they want to, and Solomon suggests to cut half the remaining baby. Well, if he was that clever, why try this rude and untrustable solution when he could call in a nurse and check that baby just born yesterday or almost a week ago? Because, you know, a professional medical science knowing person would be able to tell you that. And there comes the building of the house of the Lord and the house of the king. The house of the king is Solomon's castle. It is really nice and everything, really one of the most awesome verses of the Bible. But when it goes that plate everything with gold, then carve everything, then plate everything again with gold, and again carve everything, that's just a little bit too much. Yeah, and no. The datas of the temple it's worth mentioning because 3 times the datas of the temple is given here in the first book of Kings, then in the I think in the second Chronicles or the first Chronicles, doesn't matter, uh, and in the book of Ezekiel, and none of them matches. This is the infallible word of God? I don't think so. And there is that the golden bath, the molten sea, what is, I think, a fountain. Uh, well, from that you can count the value of the P is 3. Well, you could argue that circa, but no, there are precise data, and if you use them, you have to divide the 30 with 10, although the P's value is 3.1 point etc. So the division should go as 31 divided by 10, and this is why the P is not given correctly, and this is why this is not true with a big T. Okay, now Solomon sacrifices half of his kingdom animals, and he has a army, a caravan of ships, although the Jews never had in that period even a harbor. And this is a foolish story. And of course, oh, I like the part when the Chinese emperor visits Solomon. It's really cool. It's not taught specifically, but all the Earth's kingdom would also contain the Chinese emperor and some Native American guys. So yeah, I like that one. After the death of Solomon, the countries Israel and Judah immediately split. They don't like each other, everything goes ruined, and from that the rest of the book is really about mm, Israel and Judah's Jews just fighting with each other, and there are some good kings and bad kings. Most of the time, the story is just um, there is a good king who worships the Lord, and then immediately they start to worship false idols. Then another king comes who continue to worship the false idols, or he goes back to not worshipping the false idols. And this is evidently was written after the Babylonian captivity, because the first the division of the people of Judah and Israel, even under Solomon, is mentioned, or at least they start to hate those places called the places of the high places, or something. Expression, similar expression is used, and that is used after the Babylonian captivity, when they don't want the god and traditions being eradicated. So this is another book that doesn't worth to be mentioned as the truth, the absolute truth.